On a silent night, under a sky full of falling blue stars, Alira stood outside her small wooden house and watched the strange lights moving across the heavens. The world had been acting strange for weeks, blue meteors falling, animals running away, and the air feeling heavy like storms waiting to break. People in her village whispered that something bad was coming. Some said it was war. Some said it was the end of the world. But no one knew the truth before the story begins. If you enjoy these stories, please subscribe to this channel. Now the story continues. Alira lived alone near the mountains, far from the busy town. She liked silence, fresh air, and the sound of the river that ran behind her home. Tonight, however, the silence felt different, too quiet, like the night was holding its breath. As she stepped inside, she heard it, a sharp knock. Then another, then a third, louder and desperate. Her heart jumped. Visitors were rare here. No one came this deep into the forest at night. She reached for her lantern and slowly opened the door, expecting maybe a lost traveler, or maybe even a wild animal. But instead, a man fell into her arms. He was a soldier, injured, bleeding, breathing hard. His uniform was torn, burned in some places, and glowing blue dust covered his shoulders. His eyes were full of fear, and he kept looking over his shoulder like something terrible was following him. "Alira," he said in a broken voice, "please, help." She didn't know him. She didn't know how he knew her name. Before she could ask anything, he lifted something wrapped in a dark cloth and placed it into her shaking hands. At first, Alira thought it was a human baby. Then she saw the glow, soft blue light, like moonlight trapped under skin. Small hands with faint markings. A tiny face, peaceful. Not human, not fully alien, but something beautiful and unknown. The baby opened its eyes, bright, shining blue like stars, and looked at her with surprising awareness. Not fear, not confusion. Almost as if he knew her. Alira gasped softly. "What? What is this?" The soldier held her arm, his grip weak but urgent. "He needs you," the man whispered. "You're the only one who can keep him safe." "Me? Why me?" Alira asked, heart pounding. "No time." "Listen." He coughed, blood staining his lips. "They're coming. He is the last of his kind. If they take him, Earth will fall next." Before she could speak, she heard deep, rumbling sounds from the forest. The trees trembled. The window rattled. Something large was moving out there, something not human. "Who is coming?" Alira whispered. The soldier opened his mouth, but only one word escaped. "Seekers." Then his head fell forward, and he collapsed on her floor. Alira froze in shock. The baby in her arms made a soft sound, almost like a tiny cry mixed with energy. When she looked down, the baby reached his glowing little hand toward her face, touching her cheek gently. The glow calmed, almost comforting, almost trusting her. She took a deep breath. "I don't know who you are, but I won't let anything hurt you." Suddenly, a loud metallic growl echoed from outside. She rushed to close the door, but before she could lock it, the shadows outside moved tall, sharp shapes sliding between the trees. Yellow eyes blinked in the dark. Something sniffed the air. They were searching. Alira held the baby close and backed away from the door. She could feel her heartbeat in her ears. Her house was small, peaceful, not made for danger. She had never fought anything in her life, not even a wolf. How could she fight this? She looked at the soldier again. His bag had fallen open. Inside she saw a silver data chip, a strange cube with glowing symbols, and a folded paper with her name written on it. She quickly took everything. The baby suddenly made a pulsing sound, soft but urgent. Like a warning, the shadows moved closer. Alira blew out her lantern, grabbed the baby, and slipped out the back door into the cold night. She ran toward the trees behind her home, steps silent, lungs burning. The forest was dark, but the baby's soft blue glow lit her path just enough to see Dot behind her. Something heavy landed near her house. She could hear sniffing, scanning, scraping metal. They had found the house, but they had not found her. Not yet. She hid behind a fallen tree, watching as tall, metallic creatures approached her door. Their bodies were dark and smooth, with multiple glowing eyes that shifted like liquid. Their movements were too fast, too sharp, too intelligent. Alira held the baby tight, trying not to breathe loudly. One of the creatures let out a mechanical roar. The sound cut through the forest like a warning. "We will find you." Alira trembled, but she stood up slowly. She kept the baby close and whispered, "I don't know where to go, but I will protect you. I promise." Above her, the sky flickered again, more falling blue stars. The baby looked up at them and reached out as if calling to them, and Alira began walking deeper into the forest. Unaware that this small choice tonight would change not only her life, but the fate of two worlds, Alira ran deeper into the forest. Her breath unsteady, the glowing baby held tightly against her chest. The night was cold, but sweat covered her skin. She didn't know where she was going. She didn't know who the Seekers were. She only knew one thing. If they caught her, the baby would die. And maybe the whole world too. Behind her, the Seekers searched the empty house. She could still hear the distant crack of wood and the metallic sounds of their movements. Every noise made her flinch. Every rustle of leaves felt like danger. The baby, small, warm, glowing, made a soft humming sound. It wasn't crying. It wasn't scared. It was almost warning her. "It's okay," she whispered, though she didn't believe her own words. The forest grew darker. The trees stood closer. A fog crawled across the ground, swirling around her feet. She had walked these woods her whole life, but tonight everything felt unfamiliar. The light from the baby guided her steps, but the glow was also risky. "If they can see your light," she whispered, "they can find us." As if understanding, the baby's glow dimmed. Not fully gone, just faint enough to hide. Alira stopped for a moment, resting behind a large tree. She set the baby against her shoulder, trying to think. The soldier had left a paper with her name. Why her? How did he know her? And what did he mean by, "You're the only one who can protect him"? Her thoughts stopped when she heard it. A voice, soft, familiar. "Alira." It called, trembling. "Alira, help me." Her eyes widened. That was the soldier's voice. Darius. But he was dead. She knew that voice. She had heard it only minutes ago. She slowly peeked around the tree. A tall shape stood in the fog, human-shaped, holding its side as if injured. "Alira, please," it said weakly. Her heart raced. No, it wasn't him. This felt wrong. The baby suddenly tensed. Its glow flickered sharply. The shape stepped forward, and the fog around it shifted, revealing dark metal under the skin. The face melted slightly like liquid metal, trying to form a human shape. It wasn't. Darius. It was a seeker mimic drone. The creature tilted its head. "Alira." Hand over the child. Her fear turned to ice. She sprinted into the trees. The mimic shrieked, a mechanical cry that echoed through the forest. Another answered in the distance. Then another. They were calling each other. Branches slapped her arms. Roots caught her feet. She didn't stop. She didn't dare. Up ahead, she saw a path, the one leading to the old military outpost, abandoned after the war 10 years ago. She didn't know if anyone was there. She didn't know if it was safe. But she had nowhere else to go. She pushed forward. The Seekers moved behind her, fast and sharp, their steps almost silent, as if they floated just above the ground. The mimic's voice kept calling her name, switching between whispers and shouts, trying to confuse her. Elira, stop, you cannot escape. Give us the child. The baby pressed its tiny glowing hand against her chest, and she felt warmth spread through her. The fear didn't vanish, but something inside her suddenly became stronger. A fallen log blocked her path. She climbed over it, almost slipping, but she kept moving forward. Finally, she saw it through the fog, the abandoned outpost, broken fences, rusted gates, empty towers. Dead lights dotted looked like a ghost of an old war. But right now, it was her only hope. She rushed inside through a broken fence. As soon as she crossed the boundary, the baby's glow flickered again, brighter this time. Something inside the outpost reacted to him. Metal hummed. Dead lights buzzed faintly. The seekers stopped at the fence. Elira ducked behind a concrete wall and held her breath. The seekers stood outside, scanning. Their eyes glowed yellow. They sniffed the air, their movements sharp and unsettling. One of them stepped closer, but stopped, touching the broken fence. Electric sparks snapped back. The creature hissed and pulled away. The baby hummed again. Elira understood. Your energy. She whispered. It stops them from entering. That gave her a tiny bit of hope. The seekers circled the fence, frustrated. One slammed its metal arm against the barrier, sending vibrations through the ground. Another tilted its head and said in a distorted, broken voice, You cannot hide forever. Elira backed away from the fence, deeper into the outpost. The place was silent, but she felt watched. The baby looked around, curious but calm. As she passed a broken door, a voice suddenly spoke behind her. Don't move. She whirled around, holding the baby close. A man stepped into the light. Not a seeker, a human. His clothes were dirty, his face tired, but his eyes were sharp and focused. He held a tool in one hand that looked like a mix of a scanner and a weapon. Who are you? Elira asked, breath shaking. The man lowered the tool slightly. My name is Jonas. I worked with Captain Darius. Elira froze. You? You knew him? Jonas nodded. I know why he came to you. And I know what you're carrying. He looked at the baby, and his eyes widened with shock. That child, he whispered, is the last Azurian heir. And if the Seekers want him, then things are far worse than I feared. Elira felt her knees weaken. What do they want with him? Jonas looked toward the fence where the Seekers waited like hungry shadows. Everything, he said. They want everything. And at that moment, the ground began to rumble. The Seekers had found a way in. The ground shook again, soft at first, then stronger, like distant thunder crawling under the earth. Dust drifted from the broken ceiling of the old outpost. Metal beams creaked. Elira tightened her hold on the glowing baby as Jonas pulled her behind a fallen pillar. They're forcing their way inside, Jonas whispered urgently. They've never been able to cross Azurian energy barriers before. But they're adapting. Elira didn't understand everything, but she understood one thing clearly. They were running out of time. A loud metallic shriek echoed outside. Jonas peeked through a crack in the wall, his jaw tightening. There are more than before. We can't fight them. We need to move. He motioned for Elira to follow. They slipped down a narrow hallway, filled with rusted control panels and old screens covered in dust. A few lights flickered weakly, reacting to the baby's presence. The baby small Kale hummed softly. His glow grew brighter in the ruined hallway. Elira looked at Jonas. He reacts to this place. Jonas nodded. Because this outpost was built on Azurian tech. Elira blinked. Wait, Azurian? Like him? Yes. Decades ago, humans found traces of their technology buried deep under the earth. We built around it. We used their knowledge." He paused. "But we didn't understand the danger." Before Alira could ask more, a door slammed open ahead of them, making her jump. Jonas raised his tool slowly and stepped cautiously inside. The room was dark. Only broken computer screens and wires filled the corners. Jonas wiped dust off a central table and placed the strange cube Alira had found in the soldier's bag. The cube pulsed with soft blue light. As if recognizing Kale, floating symbols rose from it and formed a thin holographic map above the table maps of Earth. Glowing lines, moving shapes, and a flashing point far to the north. Alira stared. "What is that?" Jonas swallowed. "The location of an Azurian sanctuary. The last one." Kale suddenly reached toward the hologram, his eyes brightening. The symbols rearranged themselves as if responding to him. Jonas watched with awe. "He's controlling it. Even at this age?" Alira felt her heart soften. Kale might be alien, but he acted so much like a human child seeking comfort, reacting to danger, trusting her. Jonas touched a line on the hologram. "This sanctuary. It may have a device that can stop the Seekers. But we need to get there before they do." Alira nodded. "Then let's go." Jonas hesitated. "There's something you need to understand first." He walked to a cabinet in the corner and pulled out a small metal case. Inside was a chipped, half-broken recording device. He connected it to a console, and static filled the air. Then a voice played. Dyrus's voice. "Jonas, if you're hearing this, it means I failed. I'm taking the Azurian child to Alira. She's the only one the baby reacts to. The only one who calms him." A pause. "I don't know why. But we can't ignore it." Alira's eyes widened. "Me? Why me?" Jonas shook his head. "We don't know. But Kale chose you. That matters." Darius's voice continued. "The Seekers destroyed the Azurians. Now they want the child because his power can unlock something they need. Something that can change entire planets. If they get him, everything ends." The recording ended with a crackle. Alira felt her throat tighten. She didn't choose this. She didn't ask for it. She was just a village girl who tended plants and lived quietly. But now she held a child whose existence could decide the future of the world. The ground trembled harder this time. Dust rained down. A sharp metallic screech echoed from the hallway. Jonas grabbed Alira's arm. "They're inside. Move." He led her toward a staircase, leading underground. The baby pressed closer to Alira's chest, sensing danger. The lights flickered wildly. As they reached the bottom, Jonas slammed a metal bar across the door. "This won't hold long," he warned. "This bunker connects to an old transport tunnel. If we're lucky, it still works." They moved through darkness, their steps echoing. The baby's glow lit the tunnel walls, old pipes, cracked tiles, and faded warning signs. Alira whispered, "Why do they want him so badly?" Jonas sighed. Because Azurians were more than travelers. They were energy beings. Their powers can activate weapons or save worlds. Kale, this baby holds the last living Azurian core inside him. Alira looked down at the tiny glowing child. "He doesn't look like a weapon." "Because he isn't," Jonas said. "He's a hope. But the Seekers want him to destroy, not heal." Suddenly, a loud bang echoed behind them. Then another dot. The Seekers were breaking through the door. Jonas slammed a panel on the wall. The tunnels shuddered, and old emergency lights flickered to life. A metal door at the far end opened slowly, gears screeching. "Go!" Jonas shouted. Alira ran, holding Kale tight. Jonas followed close behind. The baby's glow brightened again, guiding their path. When they finally passed through the door, Jonas hit another switch. The door slammed shut, just as something slammed against the other side, metal claws scraping violently. Elira's heart raced. We escaped. Right? Jonas shook his head. No, we bought time. He pointed ahead. A long tunnel stretched into darkness leading toward the unknown, toward the sanctuary, and toward whatever secrets the Azurians left behind. As the Seeker's claws pounded against the sealed door behind them, Kale looked up at Elira and whispered his very first word. The long tunnel ahead was cold and silent. The only light came from Kale's soft blue glow. Elira held him close, feeling his small heartbeat against her chest. Jonas walked beside her, scanning the area with a dim flashlight that flickered every few seconds. Behind them, the sound of metal claws pounding on the sealed bunker door continued. Each hit echoed through the tunnel like a warning. They're not stopping, Elira whispered. They won't, Jonas replied. Seekers never stop until they get what they want. Elira swallowed hard. Then we must move faster. They walked deeper into the tunnel. Dust floated in the air. Pipes leaked drops of water that made the tunnel colder. Some sections of the floor were cracked, as if something powerful had shaken the place long ago. Kale lifted his tiny glowing hand and pointed forward. His eyes were full of innocence, but something inside them felt ancient, like he knew more than he could speak. Jonas noticed him pointing. He remembers something. The Azurians had long-range memories, even young ones. The baby hummed softly, the sound echoing off the tunnel walls like a small song of hope. As they moved, Jonas slowed down and touched a large metal door covered in rust. This is it, he said. The exit to the dead zone. Elira frowned. Dead zone? Jonas nodded. An abandoned region. No working machines. No signals. No electricity. Everything dies there. Even the Seekers lose strength inside it. That sounds good, Elira whispered hopefully. It is, Jonas replied. But it also means we will be completely on our own. And if we get lost inside, no one can find us. Before she could respond, the tunnel behind them suddenly shook. A loud metallic roar filled the air. The Seekers had broken through. Run! Jonas shouted. Elira didn't think. She ran. Her footsteps echoed in the tunnel as she clutched Kale and sprinted alongside Jonas. Behind them, dark shapes crawled through the broken door, tall, sharp, glowing with cold yellow eyes. The Seekers moved fast. Too fast. Jonas slammed his hand on a panel beside the rusted exit door. Sparks flew, and the old gears began turning slowly. Hurry! Elira cried. They're coming. The Seekers let out another metallic roar. Their bodies folded and unfolded like machines made of liquid metal. Their arms extended into long blades as they charged. The door moved inch by inch. Jonas pushed harder. Come on, open. Kale suddenly reached his hand toward the door. His glow brightened blue light spreading across the metal. In seconds, the heavy door responded to his energy and slid open with a loud thud. Elira and Jonas rushed out into darkness. And the moment they crossed the threshold, everything went silent. The Seekers reached the doorway, but their bodies jerked violently. Their lights flickered. Sparks shot from their limbs. They could not cross. The dead zone rejected them. Elira's chest rose and fell with heavy breath. We made it. For now, Jonas said. Let's keep going. They stepped deeper into the dead zone. The air was thick and cold. No lights. No animals. No wind. Just silence, like the world here had died long ago. Elira looked up. Even the sky was dark and strange, covered by thick clouds that didn't move. What happened here? She asked. Experiments, Jonas said quietly. Years ago, humans tried copying Azurian energy. It went wrong. Machines failed. Land died. Everything shut down. Kale hummed sadly, as if remembering something painful. The deeper they went, the more unnatural the area felt. Trees had no leaves. Buildings were broken and left like skeletons. Cars were frozen in place, rusted and dead. Jonas stopped suddenly. Wait. He knelt and touched the ground. Do you feel that? Alira did. A small vibration under her feet. Coming closer. Not seekers. Something else. The ground split open a few meters ahead, dust rising. Something metal pushed upward a drone, round and broken, but still trying to activate. Jonas cursed under his breath. Dead zone devices. They malfunction. Sun attack anything that moves. The drone sparked wildly, spinning on one wheel, scanning with a broken red eye. When it spotted them, it let out a screeching alarm. Jonas pulled Alira behind a fallen concrete pillar. Stay down. The drone fired a wild beam of red energy that shattered the pillar. Kale cried softly and clung to Alira. Jonas threw a piece of metal at the drone, causing it to turn toward him. Its beam missed, burning a scar into the dead ground. Jonas ran to another pillar. We can't fight it. Alira shouted. We don't need to. Jonas yelled back. We just need to overload it. How? Kale! His energy had him shine at it. Alira nodded quickly. She held Kale forward. He looked at the drone, confused but not afraid. Then his glow intensified, soft at first, then brighter, spreading blue light across the broken ground. The drone shook violently. Its red eye blinked, then cracked. A burst of sparks shot out, and it collapsed. Dead again. Alira held Kale close, shocked by the baby's power. He saved us again. Jonas walked back, breathing hard. Azurian children are born with pure energy. Seekers fear them, and humans can't understand them. They continued walking until they reached a ridge overlooking the Dead Zone Valley, not far in the distance, glowing faintly. A tall metallic tower pulsed with the same blue light as Kale. Alira stared in awe. What is that? Jonas's eyes widened. That, he whispered, is the Tower of Echoes. The heart of Azurian memory. Kale stared at the tower, and for the first time, he smiled. Cold wind pushed against the house as Maya stood frozen, staring at the faint blue glow pulsing from the baby's chest. For a moment, she forgot how to breathe. The tiny child, wrapped in the shimmering blanket, looked peaceful. But something inside him was waking up. The glow grew brighter. Noah stepped beside her, placing a steadying hand on her shoulder. Don't touch him yet, he whispered. Let it finish. Finish what? Maya whispered back, eyes wide. Is he changing? I don't know, Noah admitted. But whatever this is, it's not hurting him. The baby's skin flickered like moonlight on water. Lines appeared, thin glowing patterns that moved slowly across his chest and arms, like gentle waves. They looked almost like writing. Alien writing. Maya leaned closer. Noah, do you see this? It looks like symbols. Noah nodded. Yes, patterns. Messages. For 5 long seconds, the glowing stripes formed shapes. Then the light faded, and the baby sighed softly, falling asleep again. The room went dark. Maya took a shaky breath. What just happened to him? Noah's face tightened with concern. Something inside him activated. Maybe a message, maybe a warning. But why show us? Maya asked. Noah didn't answer right away. He walked to the window and looked out at the distant forest. The trees were still. Too still. Because, he finally said, someone or something is coming for him. And they want us to know. Maya's heart thudded. Noah, you said his people were gone. You said the ship was empty. I said there were no survivors, Noah corrected softly. But that doesn't mean there are no hunters. A hard knock suddenly hit the front door. Maya jumped. Noah moved instantly, pulling the baby's basket toward the corner and pushing Maya behind him. The knock came again slow, heavy, controlled. Not human. Stay back, Noah whispered. The knock stopped. For a long moment, everything was completely silent. Then a voice, metallic, echoing, almost shapeless, spoke from behind the door. Noah Axton, it said. We know you are inside. Maya gasped. The baby stirred. Noah's jaw clenched. They found us, he muttered. Who? Maya demanded. Who is that? He didn't answer. Instead, he motioned toward the hallway. Take the baby. Go to the back room. Lock the door. Do not come out until I call you. No, Noah, she started to protest, but the look he gave her made her stop. It wasn't anger. It was fear and determination. Please, he said. Go. Maya lifted the baby carefully, pressing him to her chest, feeling the soft warmth of his breath. She hurried down the hall and slipped into the small back room, shutting and locking the door. Her hands shook. Outside, she heard Noah opening the front door. Show yourself, Noah said. His voice low and steady. Maya pressed her ear against the door. A strange clicking sound answered him, like metal tapping on stone. Then footsteps, not one set, but several. Noah Axton, the metallic voice repeated. Return the infant. No, Noah replied. He is under my protection. You cannot protect him, the voice hissed. He belongs to the collectors. Collectors. The word sent a chill down Maya's spine. Noah's voice hardened. He belongs to no one. There was a sudden crash, metal hitting wood, and Maya almost screamed. The baby whimpered. She covered his tiny ears. More crashes followed. Furniture breaking. Heavy impacts. A deep growl that didn't sound human. Something slammed into the wall, so hard dust fell from the ceiling. Maya squeezed her eyes shut. Please be okay, Noah. Please. Then came silence. Complete silence. Maya's breath quickened. She waited 5 seconds. 10. 20. Nothing. Her chest tightened. What if Noah was hurt? Or worse? She took a step toward the door. Then, footsteps. Slow, dragging, coming closer. Her grip tightened around the baby. Someone stopped outside her door. Not knocking. Just waiting. Maya's heart pounded so loudly she thought it would wake the baby. Maya, Noah's voice said softly. Relief washed through her. She hurried to unlock the door until she froze. Something was wrong. Noah never said her name that gently. There was a strange echo behind it, like two voices speaking at once. Maya, the voice repeated. Open the door. She didn't move. Noah. Say something only you would know. Silence. Then, a chuckle. Low. Metallic. I do not need your trust, the voice said. Only the child. Maya backed away from the door, holding the baby tight. Her legs trembled. Footsteps moved away. Slowly at first, then running toward the front of the house. A hard crash shook the walls. And then she heard it. Noah's real voice shouting from outside. Maya, run! Her eyes widened. She grabbed her phone, one blanket, and the baby's small bottle. She pushed open the window, climbed out into the cold night air, and started running through the tall grass behind the house. The baby pressed against her, safe in her arms. Behind her, she heard inhuman shrieks and the sound of metal tearing. Maya didn't look back. She whispered to the baby, breathless and terrified. Hold on. I won't let them take you. I promise. The sky above flashed with a streak of blue light. The collectors were not done. They were only beginning. Cold air sliced across Maya's face as she ran through the tall grass. The baby held tightly against her chest. Her breaths came fast, sharp, shaky, terrified. Behind her, flashes of blue light broke through the darkness, each one followed by a strange metallic scream. She didn't dare look back. Noah's voice echoed in her mind. "Maya, run!" She pushed herself harder. The ground dipped suddenly, and she stumbled, falling to her knees. The baby whimpered, but she held him steady, whispering, "It's okay. I've got you. I've got you." She forced herself up again and kept moving. The moonlight revealed the shape of the silent hills, dark rolling cliffs that stretched into the night. She had only been there once in her life, long ago. Noah had told her the hills had old caves, hidden places, safe places. She prayed he was right. Suddenly, movement rustled the grass behind her. She froze. A shadow glided across the field, tall, thin, and metallic. Its legs bent backward like an insect. Its glowing eyes scanned the ground. A collector. Maya pressed the baby closer. She crouched low, hiding in the grass. Her heartbeat felt like thunder in her ears. The collector extended a long needle-like arm. It tapped the dirt. A ring of blue light spread from the point, scanning the ground in a widening circle. The scan passed over her feet. She held her breath. The creature paused. For one horrible second, Maya thought it sensed her. The baby shifted in her arms. She bit her lip, praying he wouldn't cry. Then something exploded in the distance. A bright orange flash lit up the horizon, followed by Noah's voice shouting, "Come and get me." The collector lifted its head sharply and sprinted toward the sound, moving in fast, jerky leaps. Maya exhaled in relief. "Good," she whispered. "Thank you, Noah." She stood again, legs shaking from fear and exhaustion. The baby blinked up at her with soft blue eyes, calm despite everything happening around him. "I'll keep you safe," she whispered. "I promise." 15 minutes later, she reached the first hill. Sharp rocks poked at her shoes as she climbed. Her arms ached from carrying the baby, but she refused to slow down. At the top, she saw a small path leading toward a dark opening between two cliffs, a cave. She hurried toward it. Inside, the cave smelled of earth and cold stone. It was narrow at first, then opened into a larger chamber. Maya carefully laid the baby on a flat rock and checked him. He was warm and quiet, the faint blue lines glowing softly under his skin. She touched one of the lines. It pulsed. Then, suddenly, his entire body glowed brighter, and a soft hum filled the cave. Maya jerked her hand back. "What now?" She whispered. The glowing lines rearranged themselves, forming new shapes, new symbols. They moved like living ink under his skin. A beam of blue light shot upward from his chest, hitting the cave ceiling. It spread across the stones, forming a shimmering circular pattern, almost like a map. Maya stepped back in shock. "Is this a message?" The baby opened his eyes. They glowed brighter than before, deep blue and ancient, like they carried memories far older than Earth. He lifted his tiny hand toward the glowing map, and the map changed. It zoomed in, showing a cluster of stars. Then one star, then a planet, then a shape something like a huge structure floating in space. She didn't know what it was, but it felt alive. A low, rumbling voice, almost a whisper, filled the cave. He must return. Maya's blood ran cold. Return? Return where? Why? But the voice didn't answer. The glowing map faded out. The baby's eyes dimmed until they looked normal again. His breathing slowed. He fell asleep. Maya knelt beside him, her whole body trembling. She didn't understand any of this. But one thing was clear. This baby was not just special. He was important, maybe too important. A sound echoed. Outside the cave. Crunch. Footsteps. Maya single quotes as heart jumped. She grabbed the baby and backed into a shadowed corner. Her hands shook so hard she nearly dropped him. A silhouette appeared at the cave entrance, broad shoulders, human shape. "Noah?" She whispered hopefully. "Dot." The figure stepped inside. Dot, it was Noah, but he looked terrible, blood on his arm, dirt on his face, his shirt torn. He leaned against the wall, breathing hard. "Maya," he said weakly. She rushed to him. "Noah, are you hurt?" I thought they... "I'm alive," he said, forcing a small smile. "Barely." He looked at the baby. "I see he activated again. How do you know?" Maya asked. "I felt it," he said. "It's like a signal." "A signal to what?" Noah hesitated. His jaw tightened. "To things much bigger than the collectors," he said quietly. Before Maya could ask more, a loud metallic screech tore through the night outside the cave. Noah grabbed her arm. "They found us. We don't have long." Maya swallowed hard. "What do we do?" Noah looked at the baby, then at the glowing marks still faintly shining on the cave ceiling. "We follow the map," he said. But that map showed space. Maya whispered. "Yes," Noah replied. "Because that's where we have to go." Outside, multiple collector shadows gathered. Dot inside. Maya held the baby tightly, and Noah prepared for the fight they couldn't avoid. The metallic screeches outside grew louder, echoing through the stone walls of the cave. Maya held the baby close as cold fear climbed up her spine. Noah stood in front of her, weapon in hand, a long metal pipe he had picked up on the way. Dot, it wasn't much, but it was all he had. The baby's faint blue glow reflected on the cave walls like soft moonlight. Noah looked at the child, then at Maya. "We can't stay here," he said quietly. "They will surround the cave." Maya nodded. Her hands trembled. "Where do we go?" Noah pointed to the far end of the chamber. A narrow passage curved deeper into the hill. "There's an opening on the other side. If we reach it, we have a chance." "A chance to escape?" she whispered. "A chance to reach the next step," Noah corrected. Before she could ask what that meant, the cave entrance exploded inward. Shards of stone flew everywhere. Maya shielded the baby, falling to her knees. Dust filled the air. Noah jumped in front of them. A tall collector stepped through the smoke, its metal arms long and sharp, its eyes burning with blue fire. Two more shadows followed behind it. The leader raised its needle-like arm toward the baby. "Return the infant," it commanded in that metallic, echoing voice, "or all of you will be erased." Noah didn't move. "Over my dead body. That can be arranged." The collector lunged. Noah swung the pipe with all his strength. Metal hit metal with a painful clang. Sparks shot out. The collector staggered back, but only for a second. It hissed and attacked again. "Noah!" Maya cried. "Go!" He shouted. "Take the baby. Now!" Maya forced herself to her feet and ran toward the back passage. The baby sensed her fear and whimpered softly. She hugged him tighter. Behind her, heavy impacts shook the ground as Noah fought. Another collector blocked the tunnel. Maya froze. The creature's head twisted unnaturally, scanning her with glowing eyes. "The infant contains the archive. He must be delivered." "Delivered to who?" She whispered. "To those who created him." Maya took a step back. The baby suddenly glowed brighter, blue light growing from his skin like a rising flame. The collector flinched. Maya looked down at him. "Are you protecting me?" The baby's eyes opened, glowing like tiny stars, and the light exploded outward. Wave of soft blue energy knocked the collector across the chamber. It hit the wall with a metallic crash, sparks flying from its joints. Maya stared in shock. The baby blinked calmly, as if nothing had happened. "Noah!" She shouted. "Come on." Noah heard her. He dodged a sharp strike, rolled across the floor, and sprinted toward her. "Move! Into the tunnel!" The two ran deeper into the darkness. Behind them, the collectors shrieked and gave chase. The passage twisted downward, narrow and steep. Maya struggled to keep her balance. Noah stayed close behind her. Suddenly, the tunnel opened into a hidden cavern, huge, silent, glowing with faint blue crystals on the walls. In the center was a stone platform with a circular pattern carved into it. Maya gasped. "It looks like the map he showed earlier." Noah nodded. "This place is older than the hills. Maybe older than humans." "How do you know?" "Because his people came here long before us." The baby lifted his hand again. The crystals around them lit up brighter. The stone platform began to hum. Noah grabbed Maya's wrist. "Put him in the center. Hurry." Maya hesitated. "Is it safe?" "No, but staying here is worse." She stepped onto the platform and gently laid the baby at its center. The carvings around him lit up instantly, turning like gears beneath glass. The ground shook. A beam of blue light shot upward, breaking through the hill above them. The light stretched into the sky like a column connecting Earth to the stars. The baby floated slightly, supported by a soft blue glow. "Noah, what's happening?" Maya whispered, fear and awe mixing inside her. "He's opening the star road," Noah replied. "Path? A path to where?" "To his people, or what's left of them." Before Maya could respond, the collectors burst into the cavern. Their eyes blazed as they saw the glowing platform. "Stop the activation!" The leaders shrieked. One leaped toward her. Noah shoved Maya behind a crystal pillar and swung his metal pipe again, blocking the creature. The others rushed forward. Maya panicked until she felt something warm. The baby's glow brightened. The light spread outward across the platform, then across the cavern, then outward like a shockwave. It washed over the collectors. Their bodies froze, their movements glitching. They screeched and tried to back away. The baby opened his tiny mouth and released a soft sound, a pure, bell-like tone. The collectors collapsed, every single one silent, motionless, dead. Maya couldn't tell. The baby slowly descended back onto the platform. The light around him dimmed to a soft shimmer. Maya rushed to him. Noah hurried beside her, breathing hard. The baby looked up at them with calm, glowing eyes. A gentle voice, warm and clear, spoke inside their minds. "Thank you." Maya covered her mouth in shock. He can speak." Noah nodded. "Not with words, with thought." The baby continued. "I must go to my world, but I will never forget you." Maya's eyes filled with tears. "But you're just a baby. How can you travel alone?" "I am not alone," the voice said. "My people wait above the stars." The blue column of light intensified again. The platform's symbols turned. Phas-Tera portal opened a swirling gateway, showing a distant world of silver, oceans and glowing skies. Noah placed a hand on Maya's shoulder. "We have to let him go." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I know, but it hurts." She knelt beside the child. "Be safe, please." The baby touched her finger, soft, warm, gentle. Then, slowly, he floated upward into the portal. The light swallowed him. The portal closed with a soft pulse. The cavern fell silent. Maya sat on the platform, tears falling. Noah wrapped an arm around her. "He's where he belongs," Noah said quietly. "And what about us?" She whispered. He looked at the sky above the broken hill, where faint blue stars were glowing. "We keep going," he said, "because somewhere out there, our story isn't finished." Maya leaned against him. Above them, the last blue spark drifted across the sky like a goodbye full of hope.